Open House Chicago is sponsored in part by Carrie McCormick Luxury Group, Ben Cohen at Rate, and Chicago Title and Trust.
Chicago has such a rich history with architecture playing a central role in the story, and both of the homes I'm showing you today have main character energy. That's why today's episode is themed Homes with a History. The two places I'm taking you to were built just a couple years apart. One, a Gilded Era mansion on what used to be Chicago's Millionaires Row. The other, a Victorian-style castle in Evanston that you won't believe. And get this, both of them have a feature that we've never seen before in this show.
Is it a room that I can twirl in this dress?
Maybe. So let's fire up the time machine. It's Open House Chicago. We start today on the near south side, just down the street from Wintrust Arena on Prairie Avenue. Now, this street used to be known as Millionaires Row. Picture it, 1877, and Chicago's three wealthiest people. I'm talking George Pullman, inventor of the Pullman sleeping cars, meatpacking millionaire Philip Armour, and of course, department store magnate Marshall Field. There's not much left here from that time period, and we're about to go into the last standing mansion from that era, 2013 South Prairie Avenue, and I can't wait to check it out. Hello, good morning.
Well, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here.
Yes.
And I'd love to introduce you to my friend Oscar.
Hello,
Hey, Courtney.
Oscar.
Welcome.
Thank
nice
you
to have you.
Thank you for having me.
So Oscar is Berrien Rugs. His family's been in the business for over 100 years.
Ah, yes.
Of course.
I knew
105 years.
105.
I knew the name. So this is your home.
Yes, indeed, yes. You know, I appreciate history. I was a student of history. When I was looking, there was some talk of tearing it down and building townhouses or co-ops. I just couldn't be part of that, so I wanted to preserve
Well, I
it.
can't wait to see it. Let's check
All
it out.
yours.
This is amazing. I feel like I'm in a museum. Do you know when this house was built?
This home was built 1892 to 1894, and it was the first residence apparently built with steel frame and poured concrete construction. So even after, 130 years, nothing creaks, no sags, nothing, it's just solid.
What was important for you to preserve?
Okay, that's a great question. So this dome goes all the way to the roof of the house.
Wow.
And there's an atrium, skylight, so there's natural light in each room. That stained glass dome was done by Healey and Millet. That's before Tiffany.
They taught Tiffany how to make
Yes.
stained glass. So what room is this? This is just a sitting area?
No, in fact, this is the music room. They would have musician, maybe a flute or a harp or violin up here in the bay. The seats would be here. People would be sitting, listening to music or a play or performance. Then afterwards, the ladies go in there and have tea. The guys would go there and smoke cigars.
I love
That's how
it.
they live.
Oh,
Well, Courtney, I think you must join me up here.
You're gonna play something
If
for
I
us?
have my violin. Let's see if you can sing.
No.
There you go.
No, I cannot sing, but this is dramatic. You have your own stage here.
Yes.
So,
You're not going to be for
Yeah.
hire.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
We're going into the cigar room next. Wow. They're really not afraid of color.
no, I like color.
No, you
I
like color.
Yeah.
Was
I
color?
like color. I like people around.
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
it too quiet.
Yeah. So is this room really how it was in the
Yes,
1890s?
definitely. These were the proportions, and some architects came in and said, well, knock out this wall, put another window. I'm like, no, every room has to stay with its original proportions, original fixture. I adjust my life to the space.
Okay.
I don't have to have everything my way,
Right.
If it's too warm, you take a layer off. If it's too cold, you put a sweater on. You don't have to have everybody serving you. You have to adjust yourself.
I like that.
That was
I
my
like that
thinking.
too.
You adjust to the space.
Yes.
One of my favorite rooms, the dining room.
Yeah, this is great, Carrie. You'll have to come for a nice dinner party.
That's right.
So when I was rehabbing the house, my contractor, I said, what kind of wood is this? He said, well, I know the name in Polish. I don't know. That doesn't do me any good. So this is figured birch or curly birch. And you got to see this.
Okay.
Talk about craftsmanship. These are the doors. They're like stuck. You know, they're hidden away.
Love those.
Oh my gosh.
They need to bring those back.
Right.
Because what a space saver that is.
Absolutely.
And you close this down and you look at the paneling. Imagine a nice dinner party.
Wow.
You know, candle lit.
I'm looking at the ceiling.
Yes.
And even the detail in the wood.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at that.
And the fireplace, you know, that's arts and crafts tile.
Wow.
Built-in hutch. That must be
everything. Yeah.
unbelievable.
Original.
Everything original.
Yes. Yeah,
How do you feel living in a space that you know, like, people were in their hoop skirts in here?
You know, it's sort of similar to our business, right? 105 years, so it's like a stewardship.
Yeah.
Not just mine, it came from my grandpa and his brothers, me and my brother, it'll hopefully go next generation, same with the house. You know, it's just my period to take good care of it and maintain it, leave it better than when I got it.
I love that.
No, I love that philosophy. All right, we'll let you continue on to show us.
Come on along, I'll lead the way and show you more of the house.
We've got the best guide.
Oh, we're back in the front. All right, we're gonna take a quick pause for the design edit.
I'm Douglas Van Trust, and I'm the owner of the Golden Triangle here on West Grand in Chicago. These are 3 ideas for how you can add energy and beauty to your home. The first tip is something you might not really think about. It's textural complexity. Basically, it means everything can't have the same level of gloss. So if you've got a lot of shiny furniture or smooth and perfect surfaces, what you need is contrast. You need something crusty. You need something, maybe something ancient, maybe an antique. Second tip is actually related to the first. It's color. You know, everyone buys real estate, or they often move into a home or dream about a home. They usually look at environments that are kind of neutral. The problem is, when you live in an environment that's too neutral, it's boring. So you have to drop some color in and not be afraid of it. The third tip is don't be afraid of figurative art. So that means don't be afraid of faces and heads and realism. Everyone likes looking at faces. We know that from science. So try to find a few things that are not abstract and predictable, but are actually representational. It could be a landscape painting. Opposites attract, and so something that's representational mixes well in contemporary environments.
All right, when we come back, we are going to go see a room that I have never seen yet in this season. All right, do you know what it is? Do you know what it is?
Is it a room that I can twirl in this dress?
Maybe. Don't tell us, Oscar. All right, let's go.
Hey everybody, Greg Kenner here from Chicago Title and Trust. And with today's trusty tip, I'm going to tell you about a piece of our business that you may not know about. Now, I know what you might be thinking, you're still trying to wrap your head around title insurance? Well, just remember, title insurance is the only insurance that takes a look backwards to make sure that you're protected when you're buying your home. Now, land trust, that's a whole nother deal. And for that, I need to bring in my colleague, Del Denny. Hey Del, how are you, man?
Great, Greg, how are you?
I can't complain. So you're right down the hall from Chicago Title, but you do something entirely different.
One thing that you do is that you look backwards. For us, with Land Trust, we actually help the consumer at the closing table moving forward.
Okay, that makes sense. Why is that important to the average Joe, though?
Most homeowners don't realize their name and home address are public record. When you buy a house, your personal information is automatically recorded and made available for anyone to see. A land trust is a legal way to hold property where your name stays private while you still have full control.
Okay, so what you're saying is, even if I'm not a famous person or a super high net worth individual, I should have a land trust?
Absolutely. With a land trust, your home ownership won't show up in a simple online search, making it harder for scammers, unwanted solicitors, or even legal threats to find you.
Okay, so we all know that title fraud is a big deal. When we come back, Del's going to tell us how a land trust can protect you against that.
A ballroom. We've seen an indoor basketball court, we've seen an indoor full spa, but never a ballroom. Oscar, tell us about the history of this.
It was not uncommon in those days that a lot of these large homes had ballrooms on the third floor. The balls would be in winter and they'd have their hot toddy drinks and put them here to stay warm while they were dancing.
Brilliant. Have my hot toddy there. Have a little seat so I can rest my dancing
And
feet.
watch me twirl.
And watch you twirl.
I have parties sometimes, usually the DJ's up here with the
Okay,
bars. So
yeah.
it's gone from hot toddies to DJs and
Nice.
tequila.
I like that better.
Well, listen, Oscar, this has been such an amazing tour. Thank you for showing us your beautiful historic home.
Yes, thank you.
Next time, I'm gonna bring my dancing shoes and a bottle of tequila for you. And then Carrie and I are gonna be twirling.
There you go.
Twirling around. All right.
Before you leave, have a look at the outdoor space, get some fresh air.
Oh my gosh, look at this tin ceiling.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Nice outdoor space.
So I told Ben to meet us in the neighborhood. Should we see if he's here?
Yeah, let's see. Oh, there he is. Hey, Ben. We'll be right down.
Coming down.
Hey, Ben.
Hey guys, how are you?
What's up?
Nothing. I didn't know which historic home to go to.
So many, so little time.
I know, because funny you should mention that. There is a backstory with this home as well. This is 2017 South Prairie, and I read that it's called the Harriet F. Rees house. There's a bunch of articles about this, because get this, this home was built in 1888, but it wasn't originally there.
What do you mean?
Like, yeah, I know. It was where the McCormick place now stands. It was literally picked up and moved here on dollies, coach house and all.
Wow. So, you know, McCormick. You know
Was that you?
You know I moved Chicago, right?
I know you moved mountains, Carrie, but I didn't know you moved buildings. Ben, throughout the season, you've given us such great information about how important speed is when getting your dream home.
Speed and certainty.
Carrie and I were talking about Oscar inside. He's an entrepreneur.
That's actually a great point because I have a lot of clients that are entrepreneurs, self-employed. You know, Oscar, like he mentioned, his business is 105 years old. Is there any challenges that people have that are entrepreneurs or self-employed getting a mortgage?
Yeah, great question. Most people think that if they're self-employed or 1099, such as a real estate agent, that it's either can't get a mortgage or it's impossible to get a mortgage.
That I gotta come in with a briefcase full of cash
Yes.
and pay for my house.
Yeah.
What, is that shady?
And I think a lot of that stems from the pandemic.
How are things today?
Things today are really status quo. We still look at a couple years of tax returns if you're self-employed, business and personal returns. If you don't qualify that way, there's a lot of alternative, let's call it portfolio lending, where if you're self-employed and you've owned your own business for 10 years, I might just look at 12 months of bank statements and we do a cash flow analysis on the business. And a lot of times that's how we get self-employed borrowers into a home that don't qualify traditionally. We focus more on the business than we do on the tax returns.
So if I have a client that's self-employed, do you do consultations with them up front before they go in for a loan?
Always.
Oh,
There's a lot of people that come in with the perception of, I have a really complicated situation. I'm like, okay, well, what's complicated about your situation? I'm self-employed. Well, that's really not that complicated, but let's dig into why you think it's complicated, and here's kind of our process, and here's what we go through to figure out what can you qualify, what can't you qualify for, what programs can you qualify for, what programs can you not qualify for.
And that's why I tell everyone, just call Ben.
Just call Ben. Just call Ben. And just stick around because we've got another Home with a History after the break.
Welcome back. I'm here with my buddy Del from the Land Trust Company. So, title fraud is got to be one of the fastest growing frauds out there. And it's when anyone other than the legal owner tries to sell your home, right?
Right, so scammers, what they do is they forge documents to transfer your home into their name, then take out loans or even try to sell it. But if your property is in a land trust, your name isn't on public record, making you a much harder target. And the thing about this is many homeowners don't realize title fraud has happened until it's too late. Prevention is key, and a land trust adds an extra layer of protection. If your home is hard to find, it's also hard to steal.
All right, that makes sense. But unfortunately, title fraud's not the only fraud that's out there, right? When we come back with the trusty tip, Dell's gonna tell us how to put a plan together to make sure you don't lose time or money.
Welcome back. So we just zipped up Lakeshore Drive from the south side of Chicago in what was Millionaires Row to the first suburb on Chicago's North Shore, Evanston. Now, Evanston has a bunch of historic homes dating back to the 1800s. In fact, this used to be a getaway spot for wealthy Chicagoans who wanted to escape the city. City planner Daniel Burnham was one of them, and he built a showy mansion right around here. The one that we're going to see today was built in 1896, and it's in the Ridge Historic District. In fact, it's called the Castle on Ridge, so I hope that Carrie has my tiara shined up. I'm gonna meet her. Let's check it out.
Hello, Princess.
I'm at the castle. The door gave it away.
And this is the Castle on Ridge.
Wow.
Yeah, so this home is listed by a dear friend of mine, Linda Levin. It is again called the Castle on Ridge, and I have your knight in shining armor right around the corner.
Look at this. Oh my gosh. Now I feel like I'm in medieval times. That's a conversation piece.
And there's so many more that we're going to explore. Each of these rooms, as you can see, emphasize the size, the Victorian era. There's just something about these rooms that are so inviting.
The ceilings are really interesting too. I like the archways and the molding.
Well, speaking of ceilings, you'll see that the owners here, they replicated the original tin ceiling.
Wow, that's cool. I do like that.
But the kitchen's also modern. So as we tour through the home, we're going to pass through the butler's pantry. This is the original cabinetry in here. You can see the original pass-throughs as well.
Wow.
And I'm going to take you to the dining room.
Another fireplace, and I really like this one.
So there's 8 fireplaces total in this home. In the back of the property, there is a carriage home. So think back in the late 1800s, they didn't have cars.
Right.
They had horse and buggies. So you'll see when we're on the outside of the property that you have this beautiful path that leads you back to the carriage.
And you can just park your buggy back there.
That's right. So the centerpiece of this home is this grand staircase. And if you notice that the pipes to the organ are still here, the organ was dedicated to the church, but those remain intact as a centerpiece.
Who has an organ in their house?
The castle does.
A castle. Well, if it's a castle. When was this home built?
Way back in 1896 by famed architect Stephen Jennings.
Okay, we are going to take a quick break, and after the break, we are going to go all the way up. You ready?
Let's go.
And we're back with my colleague, Del Denny. Man, Del, you've been giving us some great stuff, but I do have one question for you. What happens to my house if something happens to me?
Yeah, great question. So when a homeowner passes away, their house often goes through probate, a court process that can take months or even years before the property is transferred to the family. A land trust allows the property to pass directly to your chosen beneficiaries without probate delays. This means your loved ones won't be stuck in legal battles or waiting months just to access a home they're supposed to inherit.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, that's all we've got for today. I'm Greg Kenner, and that's your trusty tip from Chicago Title and the Land Trust Company.
Where are we? We're the second floor.
We're on the second floor. There are 3 bedrooms on this level, all with fireplaces.
Yes.
There's a door here.
This wood paneling is like very Victorian era.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
What's
this,
behind that door?
I don't know. I don't know what's behind this door.
You're scaring me.
Okay, well, should we go?
You first.
Okay. Let's go.
What? Oh my, what are we gonna find in here? Can let there be light? Oh! Let there be light. What?
Okay,
is
well,
this?
I found some more bedrooms back here and a full
What?
bath. So I do think that we need to stick together.
Yeah, we do. We do. We do. Because I'm scared.
But more bedrooms, more fireplaces.
Wow.
It's just adding
It
to.
just winds around
Yes.
and around and around. Where does this staircase even go?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. Okay.
Okay.
Woo.
So we are back to the center staircase
Okay.
here.
And we're safe.
And we're safe.
We've checked in safe.
I was told we have a ballroom.
Oh, another one. This is our second ballroom of the day.
So there's a theme again with
Yes.
the era of these homes. They like to dance.
We like to have parties.
They didn't go out to the bars.
Right.
They didn't go out dancing. They danced in their homes.
There you go.
So let's go find the ballroom.
Let's check it out.
So Courtney, one of the original telephones is still here.
Wow. Does it work?
But it is a push button. And the owners wanted to keep it in here. So imagine the calls that were made.
Wow.
The conversations that were had.
Wow. That's incredible. This is like a museum. We've been to 2 museums today. So, the ballroom.
The ballroom. And if you notice in this floor plan, every room is interconnected. It's 8,600 square feet, but it makes it feel so much larger.
So much larger. That's
Yeah.
why it's like the perfect hide and go seek house.
That's right.
Don't lose your keys, because you ain't never gonna find them again.
So let's go outside. I'd love to show you that. It's as impressive as it is inside.
Okay, so let's check it out. Well, this is nice and relaxing.
It is.
Now we just need our glass of wine.
Well, I can get you one.
I love that. I might take you up on it. Well, this is a great spot to end the show. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next time.